Good morning. Happy Wednesday. All right, we're gonna start in about like 2 minutes here. Today class is gonna be about our heart chakras. It's gonna be opening up the front part of the body. I'm gonna find a couple of nice back bends and we're gonna get going within like 2 minutes or so. I don't play music, so I actually can put these classes on YouTube for you guys for later. If you want to practice that, do that again. Or if you did not have a chance to do this with me for the first time. So these classes are available on YouTube. If you like to play some calming music throughout the class, please feel free to turn it for yourself. And then we are gonna get going within a minute. Hopefully everything is nicely set up. If you need any props, blocks, you need any straps, please feel free to grab those. And then when we ready, we're gonna get going, sitting down onto the mat. We have about like 1 more minute before we're gonna start. So I'm just gonna sit down onto the mat, start to connect with my breath. And you can do the same exact thing, sitting down and just enjoy yourself for a full minute. All right. We're gonna get started in a seated position. Crossing the shin bones right in the middle, flexing your feet towards the knees. Placing the hands onto our thighs. And turning the palms either up or turning the palms down, depending on if you're looking to receive some energy, to connect, you can turn the palms up. If you're looking for more grounding sensation, turning more inward, you can turn the palms down towards the earth, towards the mat. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, tuck the chin to the chest, lengthening through the spine. And slowly start to tune in with the breath. Instead of changing the pattern of the breath, using this moment just to watch, just to observe. Watching the inhales. Watching the exhales. Feel how your spine is elongating with each and every inhale. And feel how your body is letting go of all the tension, all the anxiety with every single exhale. Your shoulders melting away from the ears. Your sit bones are melting down to the mat. Now we're going to turn on the breath a little bit more. So wherever you are, just open your mouth and release all the air out of the body. Let it out, let it go. Seal the lips. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. Fill up the lungs. Start to feel the air as if filling up your lungs, pulling the air all the way to the bottom of the lungs. Hold it at the top. Then open your mouth and audible, nice release. Exhale everything out from your lungs. Let it out, let it go. One more time. Deep inhaling through the nose. Fill up the lungs all the way to the top. Sip a little more air in. Really feel how the ribs are opening up. And open your mouth and audible release as you exhale. Let it out, let it go. Good. The third one, we're going to keep our lips sealed the whole time. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. Fill up the lungs all the way to the top. Pull even more air in through the nose all the way to the bottom of the lungs. Hold it there. Now keep your lips sealed and exhale through the nose, creating that HAA sound in the back of the throat. Start to turn on that Ujjayi breath, that oceanic sound in the back of the throat. Continue this beautiful Ujjayi breath in and out through the nose. Connect to your breath and gently blink your eyes open. Release the right fingertips down to the side. Lift the left arm to the ceiling. Start to bend your right elbow and reach up and over the head. Find that side stretch on the left side. Pressing the left sit bone back. And come back to center. Switch out to the other side. Reach the right arm up. Press the right sit bone down. Start to bend your left elbow. Reach up and over the head. Good, then come on back to center. Start to walk the fingers forward. Find a little opening through the hips as you let the knees to fall out to the side. Let the crown of the head to come down, the forehead come down to the mat. Beautiful. And come on back to center. Switch out the legs. Place the opposite shin bone forward, crossing at the middle of the shin, flexing your feet. And slowly start to walk your fingers forward. Let the knees to fall out to the side. Drop the forehead down in between the biceps as you steal on your spider fingers. And walk your hands back. You're going to get into a gentle twist. Right fingertips back. Left hand onto the top of the right knee. Twist and turn in your torso. And come back to center. Turn to the other side. Right palm onto the outside of the left knee. Left fingertips behind you. Your spine is nice and long. Your belly is strong. And you're twisting from your waistline. Maybe gaze back towards the back of the wall. Good. And come back to center. We're going to come into a little child's pose. We're going to get moving into our child's pose. So reach the arms forward. Come down first in child's pose. Knees are wide open, belly's in between the inner thighs. Good. Now we're going to start to move with this. Slowly start to sweep the arms all the way to the left. Grab onto your left heel and reach the right arm to the sky. Open to the chest. And then sweep the right arm back. Start to sweep the left arm around it. Grab onto your right heel with the right arm and lift the left arm to the sky. Just like that. Keep going. Reach forward. And open to the heart, grabbing onto the left ankle. We do it a couple of times. So tune in with the breath. Feel that nice opening through the whole body. Feel the side body is opening up. Feel the back is opening up. The chest is opening up. Keep working with the breath. 3 more breaths, just like that. Sweeping those arms around. Lifting the left arm. Lifting the right arm. So good. And slowly come on back to center, coming onto your hands and knees. Knees underneath the hips. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. Open up through the fingers. Go through a couple cats and cows. Move slowly. Really feel the whole movement of the spine as you round your spine and arch your spine with the breath together. Good job. And come back into a neutral tabletop position. Reach your right leg back behind you. Point, flex the toes. Circle out the ankle. As you lifted the right leg away from the mat, you most likely let the belly to drop down to the earth. Lift it back up to the center line. Good. Then lift up the left arm up and away from the mat. Counterbalance. Turn the thumb towards the ceiling. And the bicep comes all the way by your ears. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Pull the elbow and knee to touch underneath you. Inhale. Come on back to your extension. One more time. Exhale. Bring the elbow and knee to touch underneath you. Inhale, come on back to your extension. Bend your back leg, sweep back for your foot. Capture that right foot with the left palm. Start to kick into your palm. Feel that arching sensation through the spine. Lift up your heart, kick a little bit more. Roll the left shoulder back. And slowly release. Come on down onto your hands and knees. Pull the belly in. Lift the left leg up and away from the mat. Circle out the ankle. Now lift up the belly. Point the back toes back. Push the earth away with the left palm and reach the right arm forward. Bring the bicep to the ear, thumb towards the sky. Gaze down at one spot, back of the neck is long. Deep inhale. Exhale, pull the elbow and knee to touch underneath you. Round through the spine. Inhale, come on back to extension, reach, lengthen. One more time. Elbow and knee to touch underneath the body. Round it. Good, inhale, come back to extension. Pause there, bend your back leg, sweep back for your foot or ankle. Capture the left ankle as you start to kick it to the right palm. Roll the right shoulder back. Push the earth away with the left palm. Lift up the chest. Open up. Slowly release. Come on down into your tabletop. Slide your hands a little more forward. Tuck your toes and lift the hips high to the sky. Downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Walk out your dog. Shake out your head, yes and no. Now pull the belly into the spine and lengthen through your lower back. Lift the tailbone high to the ceiling. But in the same time, rotate the tricep muscles down to the mat. Spin the bicep muscles to the ceiling. So good. Pedal out your feet. And then find stillness in your downward facing dog. Come on higher to the tippy toes. Exhale, bear pose, bend the knees. Shift the hips back to the heels. Push the earth away with both palms. Maybe gaze forward. Inhale, hips high to the sky. Then release the heels down. Once again, come on higher to your toes. And then rotate the heels towards the back right corner of the mat. Stretching out through the Achilles, the IT bend. Come back to center and rotate the heels all the way to the back left corner of the mat. Melt those heels down, lift the hips high. Pull the belly in.
Keep the body weight into the left and right palm in the same time. Good, come on back to center, release the heels down. Now we're going to twist a little. Walk the hands closer to the feet. Reach the right hand to the outside of the left leg. And twist in your upper body, stretching out through the torso, good. Come back to center, right palm down, left arm comes to the outside of the right leg, twist and turn. And slowly release, walk your hands back to your feet, come onto your ragdoll Uttanasana. Your feet are already hip distance apart, but you can always walk them a little wider out, all the way mat distance apart if that feels better. If you feel super tight in your hamstring, maybe in your lower back, that feels really good. Let the crown of the head to drop down to the mat, bring the shin, the forehead to the shin, swaying from right to left. Good, and stay in center, just interlock the hands behind your back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, good. Rest your thumbs onto your lower back. Now bring the elbows as close as you can together, squeeze those shoulder blades, and slowly start to lift the fist up towards the ceiling. Keeping the shoulder blades close together as much as you can, feel that nice opening in the front part of the chest, in the front part of the shoulders, drop the crown of the head down, lift the shoulders away from the ears. Good, just rebend the elbows, bring the thumbs back onto your lower back, and place the opposite index finger on top. So switch to interlock, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and slowly then start to lift the fist up and away from the mat. Lift the inner shoulders away from the ears, reach the fist to the ceiling, straight onto the elbows, turn on the tricep muscles. Release the hands down to the mat, and walk all the way out into a high plank position, top of a push-up. Hold your high plank pose. You can stay here simply holding your high plank, engaging your thighs, tucking the tailbone under, reaching the chest forward. Or if you want, you can lift up the right leg and bring the right knee to the right tricep and just hold. 3 breaths right here. So you're either holding your high plank or you lifted the right knee up and pull it to the right tricep. Send the right leg back. Lift the left leg up and away from the mat. Bend your left knee. Bring it to the left tricep. Round through the upper spine, but still reach the sternum forward. And remember, you can hold your high plank. 2 more breaths. Start to awaken the core. Allow the breath to flow through the body. Good, stretch the left leg back and slowly come on down onto your knees. Release the belly and the hips down to the mat. Bring the hands by your floating ribs. Point the elbows to the ceiling, pressing to the tops of your feet. Spin the inner thighs towards the ceiling and engage the legs so much that you lift the kneecaps away from the mat. Gaze down at the top of the mat. Exhale everything out. With the next inhale, lift up the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades, point the elbows to the ceiling. Your kneecaps are lifted, but your feet are pressing down to the mat, helping you elongating through the spine. Maybe lift up the palms just an inch away from the mat and hold it there, squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhale, let it go, forehead down to the mat. Bring the arms by your side. The elbows are straight, the palms are turning down to the mat. Exhale everything out. Inhale, lift up the chest, lift up the shoulders. Now start to lift up the fingers, the palms away from the mat. Reach the fingers back like you're trying to reach back for your heels. Then slowly start to add the legs, lift the legs from the thigh bones, keeping the whole leg straight. Spinning the inner thighs towards the ceiling, reaching the big toes back, engaging the glutes. Stay upright, interlock the hands behind your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades, squeeze the palms together. Bring the heels of the hands together. Lift the fist away from the glutes. Keeping the legs straight, lift the chest a little higher. So good, slowly release it down. You're gonna rise up into upward facing dog. Your palms are next to your floating ribs, so your elbows are directly over the wrist joint. Pressing to the tops of your feet and slowly start to come up halfway. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open to the chest, and maybe straighten the arms all the way. Maybe lift up the thighs and the knees away from the mat. Then glide back. Downward facing dog, hips come high to the sky. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale it out. Inhale, gaze forward, exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, arch up, halfway lift. Now slide your palms up onto the shin bone and push the shin bones into the palms, so you're reaching more forward. Keep a micro bend into your knees and squeeze the shoulder blades so much together that your spine becomes nice and long. You're gazing down at one spot onto the mat. Your core is engaged the whole way. Taking a deep inhale, exhale, fold forward. Maybe wrap the forearms behind the calves as you pull the forehead down to the shin. Then place the hands onto your outer hips and slowly start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Allow your head to come up last. Roll all the way up to stand. Bring the arms by your side, mountain pose, Tadasana. Hands at your heart center, Samastirihi. Tuck the chin to the chest. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And let it out as you exhale. Blink your eyes open. Inhale, lift up the arms. Find a baby back bend. Go pose the arms. Start to push the hips forward and allow your chest to lift up to the ceiling as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, order halfway lifts. Lift hands onto your shins or maybe down onto the mat. Now keep a flat spine as you plant the palms, bend the knees, and step back into a high plank position. Slowly lower down. You can always release the knees down into your chaturanga if you need that. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift up your chest. Now listen, we're going to go back into chaturanga. Tuck the toes under. Lower to your chaturanga. And again, upward facing dog. We're going to do that 2 more times. Chaturanga. And up dog. Good. One more. Chaturanga. And up dog. Nice job. And stretch back. Downward facing dog. Hips high to the sky. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out through the nose. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, lift the arms to the sky. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Inhale, lift up the arms. Exhale, find the baby back bend. Go pose the arms, lift up the chest. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back to your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. We're going to go back into low chaturanga. Exhale, low chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, low chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, glide back downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, gaze forward. Come onto your tippy toes. Make your legs strong. Bend your knees and charge forward all the way. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Hands back to your heart. Inhale, lift it up. Find that back bend. Go pose the arms open through the chest. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha, half lift. Exhale, step, jump back, chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Back into low chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Back into low chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And stretch back. Downward facing dog. Hips come high to the sky. Slowing down with the breath. Wrapping the triceps down. Lifting the tailbone high. Gazing back in between the feet. Letting the crown of the head to drop down to the mat, creating that space for the neck. Good, then inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, come on into chair pose, Utkatasana. Shift the body weight back to the heels. Drop the thigh bone deeper. Pull the belly in. Lengthen from the spine. Dropping the tailbone, dropping the thighs deeper. Lengthening from the spine, turning the biceps slightly towards each other, pinky slightly towards each other, but still softening the inner shoulders away from the ears. Now sit down 2 inches deeper and fly the arms back behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Now see if you can send the body a bit more back into your heels, keeping your toes light, lengthening through the spine. Inhale, lift up the arms, stay deep into your chair. Exhale, fly those arms back behind you. Inhale, the hands behind your back, squeeze the shoulder blades. And exhale, straighten the legs, fold forward. Bring the forehead all the way down to the shins. Lift the fist to the ceiling. Maybe allow the fist to come a little bit more forward over the shoulder line. Then release the hands down to the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step, jump back to your chaturanga, go through your vinyasa, skip your vinyasa if you need it. Come back into your downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg halfway up. Reach back to the right heel. Point the right toes down to the mat. As you exhale, pull the knee to your nose and round through the upper spine. Gaze back to the right knee and round as much as you can. Now inhale, flat spine, tap the knee down. Exhale, pull it back up. Inhale, tap the knee down, flat spine. Exhale, pull it back up. One more. Inhale, tap. Exhale, pull it back up. Then gaze forward and step the right foot all the way forward into a low lunge. Come on onto your fingertips, reach the chest forward. Now lift the belly an inch away from the right thigh, but don't let the right hip to swing out to the side. Keep the right hip hugging into the center line as you fly the fingers away from the mat. Lift up the arms and reach the chest forward. So notice that my body is one long line from the back heel all the way to the crown of the head. You're not up here, you're leaning forward with the chest. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Interlock the hands behind your back. Squeeze the palms. Straighten out through the elbows. Pull the right thigh back into its socket. Then release the grip. Place the left palm down and reach the right arm to the sky. Reach the right fingertips all the way to the ceiling. Your right fingertips are the extension of your right shoulder. Good, then release the right fingertips down to the mat. Drop the left knee down. Point the left toes back. Place your hand onto your right knee. Drop the hips deeper down to the mat. Sink down a little deeper into this pose. But from the belly button up, lift everything up to the ceiling. Reach out the arms. Turn the palms towards each other. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe start to walk your right foot a little more forward so you have more room to sit down into this pose to open up through the hips. But still feel that energy as it lifts you up from the belly button all the way to the ceiling. Now go pose the arms, lift up your chest, push the hips down, but lift up from your lower back by engaging your belly, pulling the belly into the spine and squeezing the shoulder blades onto your back. Inhale, come on back up. Interlock the hands behind your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades and slowly start to slide the fist at the back of the left leg. Allow the hips to go further down to the mat, but still lifting up from the lower back as you find that opening through the spine. Inhale, lift the arms up. Release the left palm down to the mat. Reach back with your right finger. Stay right here, or maybe bend your back leg. Reach back for your foot or ankle. Open through the chest. Slowly release the back foot if you have it. Release the right fingertips down, then straighten out to the right leg and shift the body weight back. We're gonna come into a half split pose. So your left hip is over the left knee line. Your right foot is flat towards the face, so you're stretching out to the entire calf through your right hamstring. Lift up the chest, keep the belly engaged, and with a flat spine, lean more forward and maybe bend the elbows. Pull the right thigh back into its socket, take a deep inhale, and exhale. Rebend your right leg, plant your hands down, tuck your back toes under, lift your left knee up and step back into a high plank pose. Then come on down onto your forearms. Forearm plank. Pulling the belly in, tuck the tailbone under. Your shoulders are directly over the elbows. Now bring your wrist aligned with the elbows as well. Reach with the sternum with the chest forward and wrap your tricep muscles back. Lift up the front ribs, squeeze the ribs towards each other. Engage your thighs. Now slowly start to turn the right fingers inward and roll over to the outer arch of the right foot as you lift the left arm high. So the purpose of bringing the right palm inward is that it's way easier for your shoulders. Of course, if your shoulders are super open, you can keep the right fingertips pointing straight forward. Lift up the hips, squeeze onto the outer hips. Lift up the hips a little higher, reach up to the ceiling. And then come on back to center, left elbow down. Feet are together, roll over to the other side, right arm to the sky. Lift up the hips, stack the right hip on top of the left, flexing your feet, reach to the ceiling. Slowly come on back down, forearm plank. Then one hand at a time, come on back into high plank and stretch back into a downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg halfway up, reach it back all the way, but keep the hips level and point the left toes down. Exhale, pull the knee to your nose, round through the spine and gaze back to the left knee as you lift the left knee even higher. Good, as you inhale, tap it down. As you exhale, pull it back up. Inhale, tap it down. Exhale, pull it back up, push the earth away, round through the spine. Inhale, flat spine. Exhale, round the spine. Good. Now gaze forward, pull the left knee even higher, step the left leg all the way forward. Come up onto your fingertips, reach the chest forward. Maintain that nice long line from the right heel all the way to the crown of the head. Engage your belly, hug the left hip back into the center line, lift up the arms, and reach the arms back behind you. Turn the thumbs out, the palms down. So you have the right rotation of the arms. You can really engage the arm bones, the muscles around the arm bones. And you can keep leaning with the chest forward like your sternum is on a rope and it's pulling you all the way forward, but in the same time, you're pulling your left hip back. Good. Interlock the hands behind your back. Try to place the opposite index finger on top, the one that does not come naturally. Keep pulling the left hip back, squeeze the shoulder blades. Reaching with the chest forward. Good job, release the grip. Then you're gonna go right palm down, left arm to the sky, twist and turn. Pulling the left hip back, push the earth away with the right palm, open up to the chest with the reach of the left arm. Your left finger is the extension of the left shoulder. Maybe gaze up to the ceiling. Good, release the left palm down to the mat. Now we're gonna drop the right knee down, point the right toes back behind us. Placing the hands onto the left knee. Maybe walking the left foot a little more forward so you have enough room for your hips to sink down to the mat. Then add on, inhale, lift up the arms. Remember to lift the energy up from the belly button all the way to the fingers, but allow the lower body to sink down towards the earth. Softening the inner shoulders away from the ears, hugging the left hip back into its socket. Good, from here, you're gonna start to goal pose the arms and lift up the chest. Engage your core, engage your glutes, squeeze the outer hips, lift up from the waistline. Now squeeze the shoulder blades together, open to the chest. Inhale, lift up the arms, bring the hands behind your back, find that awkward grip, the opposite index finger on top, lift up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades straight into the elbows, and slide the fist down at the back of the right leg. Drop the hips deeper, lift up the chest, squeeze those shoulder blades. Good, release, inhale, lift up the arms. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Good, now your right palm stays down, your left arm reaches back. Stay here, just open to the chest with the reach of the left arm, or bend your right leg and reach back for your foot or ankle. Open up to the chest. Nice, slowly release the foot if you have that. Come back, straighten out to the front leg, shift the hips back, come into that half split pose. Pull the left thigh bone back into its socket, flexing the left foot towards the knee. Now lift up the sternum, lift up the gaze, reach the chest forward, really engage the belly, and maybe bend the elbows and go a little bit deeper. Feel that nice stretch in the back of the left leg. Nice, slowly release, rebend your left leg, plant the palms, tuck the back toes under, lift the right knee, step back, high plank pose. Come on down onto your forearms once again, but this time we're gonna come into a dolphin pose. So maybe before we're gonna walk the toes in, gaze forward and make sure that the wrists and the elbows in the same line, they all shoulder distance apart. Open up through the palms, glue down the forearms to the mat, lift the tailbone high, pull the belly in, squeeze the ribs towards each other as you walk your feet in. Now your knees can be bent in order to straighten out through the spine, and it's absolutely fine. If you feel like you can keep the spine straight, you can start to experiment with straightening out through the legs as well. Hold it here. If you're ready, maybe lift the right leg up and away from the mat, push into the forearms. Lift the right leg from the right inner thigh, level out through the hips. If you lifted the right leg, release it down and lift up the left leg. Lifting from the left inner thigh, point the left toes down. Pull the belly and push into those forearms. Slowly release the left foot down to the mat. Walk back into your forearm plank pose, pulling the belly in. Reach the chest forward. Hold it here, 3 more breaths. Gaze down in one spot, hugging the ribs in. Thighs are engaged, kneecaps are lifted. Energy is shooting back through the heels. Then slowly release the hips down, release the belly down. Come on into swings pose. Squeezing the shoulder blades, reaching the chest forward. Engage the legs and lift up just the kneecaps. Again, the tops of your feet are still pressing down to the mat. You're using the energy of the legs to pushing the chest more forward and coiling the chest up towards the ceiling. Good, stay here or bend your right leg. Reach back for your right foot. And then slowly maybe start to pull the right heel closer to the right glute. Now if that goes super easy, you can start to flip the palm around, wrapping the palms, the fingers around the foot, and pull it down like that. And you can also push into the left palm and lift up the chest. These are all just options. Slowly release the right foot if you have that. Go to the other side, right elbow down, reach back for the left foot, or stay still in your Sphinx pose, that's fine too. And if you want to try that, you can start to flip the palm around, your elbow points to the ceiling, start to push the left heel down, and maybe press into the right palm, lift up the chest. Nice job, slowly release. Come on back into Sphinx pose. And from your Sphinx pose, we're going to climb back all the way into a tabletop position. Going through a couple cats and cows just to massage out that spine again. Making our way back into a downward facing dog. Hips come high to the sky. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, lift up the right leg to the ceiling. Point the right toes, lift it a little higher. Bend the knee and circle out through the hips. So good. Find that opening. Good. Then lift the right leg back to the ceiling and bring it over to the left tricep. All the way to the left tricep. Squeeze that right knee into the left tricep. Round through the spine. And gently extend the right leg out to the side and lift the left arm to the ceiling. Open up. Try to keep both legs straight. Of course, you can always play with that bottom leg lift if you want. And slowly lift the right leg back to the ceiling. And exhale, come on all the way forward into low lunge. We're going to come back into that low lunge twist first. Left fingertips down, right arm to the sky. But come on up onto your left fingertips. Engage your core and slowly rise up into a vertical twist. Drop the thighs deeper. Open through the chest to the reach of the right arm. Then reach the right arm back, place it onto the back of the left leg, and lift the left arm to the sky. Open it up through the chest, lift the left arm to the ceiling. Good. Come on back to center, lift both arms up to the sky, high crescent lunge, go pose the arms and open to the chest. Gaze up to the ceiling. Inhale, come on back up. Good. Now place the hands onto your hips. Release the back heel down for your warrior one. So your back heel is down onto the mat, your right knee is forward. You adjust your hips so the left hip can turn forward, the right hip can hug in. Inhale, lift up the arms. Now with each inhale, create more length through the spine from the belly button up. With each exhale, see if you can drop the right thigh bone deeper. Now slowly drop the gaze, drop the head back, lift the gaze up to the ceiling. Keep the elbows straight, bring the palms all the way to touch, and reach to the ceiling with the fingers. Glue the palms together, bring the biceps closer together. Gaze up to your thumb, try not to cross your thumbs or like the fingers, keep them separated good. Deep inhale, then bring the hands behind your lower back, interlock the hands, lift up your heart, open to the chest, exhale, bow down, forward fold. Maybe bring the right shoulder to the inside of the right knee as you keep hugging the right hip back, rooting down to the back heel, letting the crown of the head to drop down to the earth. Inhale, lift up the arms, rise up. Reach the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Step back. Go through your vinyasa. Make your way back into a downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high to the sky. Point the toe all the way to the ceiling. Open up through the hamstring. Then bend your top leg and draw a couple circles with that left knee. Moving slowly. Rotate the left shoulder down to the mat as you're opening through the waistline, through the hips. Good. Send the left leg back to the ceiling. And exhale, cross it underneath the body, bring it to the right shoulder. Hold it here, turn on that core, that oblique. And gently extend the left leg out to the side. And inhale the right arm to the ceiling. Open up. Falling star. Lift the hips higher, push the earth away with the left palm. Slowly release the right palm down to the mat. Lift the left leg high to the sky. Exhale, step it all the way through low lunge. Coming to that low lunge twist, right fingertips down to the mat, left arm to the sky. Open up through the chest with the reach of the arm. Engage your outer hips. You are on the fingertips on the right hand. And slowly you're going to start to lift the chest and lift up. Coming into this vertical twist. Hugging the right hip back, reaching the left fingertips back to behind you. Deep inhale. Twist as you exhale. Slowly release the back arm to the back of the right leg and lift the right arm up and overhead. Maybe drop the hips deeper, find an opening from the right frontal hip all the way to the right finger. Then slowly come on up, high crescent lunge, reach the arms to the sky. Sit down a little bit deeper, pull the belly in, engage your core, now go close the arms and lift up your heart. Gaze to the ceiling, find that balance. Good job. Come back to center, lift up the arms. Good. Place your hands onto your hips and release the back heel down to the mat for your warrior one. Pull the left hip back, guide your right hip more forward. Sit down nice and deep. Make your stand nice and wide so you can really sit down into this warrior one. Lift up the arms. We're first going to go into a full expression. So pull the left hip back. Turn the right hip forward, drop the head back, gaze up to the ceiling, bring the palms to touch. Now squeeze the tricep muscles closer together. Reach the energy up to the fingers. Drop the left thigh bone deeper, lift up from the waistline. Find that nice long energy. Deep inhale, sit down deeper, push the back heel down. Then bring the hands behind your lower back. Interlock the hands opposite, upward index finger comes on top. Lift up the chest. Exhale, humble your warrior. Come on all the way down. Lift the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Slowly pressing into the back foot. Inhale, rise back up, warrior one. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Step back into a high plank pose. Come on down onto your elbows, forearm plank. Good. Now you can hold your forearm plank, or you can come into dolphin. You can hold your dolphin. You can again play with those leg lifts. Or, if you want, you can play with a little bit of a balance by swinging the stronger leg up and maybe coming all the way into your forearm balance. Wherever you are, focus onto your breath. And when you're ready, maybe come back into that dolphin, come back into forearm plank, and together we're going to hold it there for 3 more breaths. Pulling the belly in. Last one. Good job. Come on down. Sphinx pose. Reach the chest forward. Press into the tops of your feet. Open through the chest. Good. Then release the belly down to the mat. Good. Then bring the hands behind your back. Interlock the hands. Press into the tops of your feet. Exhale everything out. With the next inhale, lift up the chest. Keeping the legs straight, lift up the legs away from the mat. Knees are straight. Lifting the legs from the inner thighs. Big toes are pointing back. Now separate the grip, turn the palms down, and lift the chest a little higher. Hold it here for 3 more breaths, or maybe bend your knees and reach back for your foot or ankle, and come on all the way up into your floor bow. Maybe lift one more rib away from the mat. Engage the legs, lift the toes higher. And slowly release. Good job. Left ear is down onto the mat. Gaze to the right, arms by your side, big toes to touch. Then bring the forehead back to center. We have a second set. So you can either bend your knees or come into that bound Shalavasana, bound locust pose, or maybe the arms by your side. Alright, I'm going to show again floor bow. Grabbing onto your feet or ankle. Squeeze the glutes, exhale everything. Inhale, lift up the chest. Kick into your palms, roll the shoulders back. Maybe lift the gaze a little higher. Engage the backs of the legs. And slowly release. Gaze over to left. Right ear down onto the mat, big toes to touch, arms by your side. Tuning in with the breath. Deep inhale. And exhale. Awesome job. Slowly coming back to center. Press your way all the way back into downward facing dog. Okay, from your downward facing dog, bring your feet together. Then come forward into a high plank pose. Keep the right palm down, roll to the outer arch of the right foot and lift the left arm to the sky. Side plank, Vashisthasana. Pushing the earth away with the right palm, lift the left fingertips to the sky. Stack the left hip on top of the right. Now slowly float the left toes away from the right foot. Bend your left leg and release the bent left knee, left foot behind your straight right leg. And lift up the hip. Coming to this wild thing. Nice job. Slowly try to make your way back into that side plank pose. Balance. Come on back to center. Feet out together. Go over to the other side. Right arm to the sky. Push the earth away with the left palm. Lift up from the left shoulder. Stack the right hip on top of the left. Now slowly start to float the right foot away from the left. Bend your right knee and release the foot behind you. As you keep the left leg straight, reach the arms to the ceiling. Now from here, slowly make your way back into that side plank. Back down onto your palms, high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift up your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips come high to the sky. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale it out. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Lift up the arms. Squeeze the outer hips. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And straighten the elbows as you turn the pinky slightly in. Hug the ribs towards each other. Make the spine long. Drop the thigh bones deeper. Good, now we're going to bring the arms by our side. And then see if we can bend the knees so much that our fingertips going to be down onto the mat. So you're dropping the thighs all the way aligned with the knees, but the body weight is still back into the heels. Good, now keep the belly strong. Lift up the chest and lift up the arms. Now try to stay this deep. Bring the hands to your heart center and twist all the way to the right. Hook the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Press the palms together. You can stay here, you can open up the arms, and you can go into side crow. Hands down. Hold the right knee to the outside of the left leg and lift up the feet. Slowly come back to center. Release, come into a forward fold. Grab onto your big toes with the index finger and middle finger. Bring the hips over the heel line. Reach the chest forward, bend the knees slightly. And exhale, pull the upper body over the lower body. Lengthen through the back of the neck, let the shoulder blades away from the earth. Push the elbows out to the side, engage your biceps. Good, slowly release. Come on back into that chair pose. We're gonna start nice and deep. Drop the thighs, bring the fingers behind your feet. Keep the legs this deep. Lift up the upper body and lift up the arms. Pull the belly in. Bring the hands to your heart center, twist and turn to the left. Hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Dropping the thighs deeper. Pushing into all 10 knuckles twisting in your upper body. Stay here, fly the arms, or plant the hands down. Come into a little side crow. Leaning into your chaturanga arms, picking your feet up, and maybe bringing the big toes to touch. Slowly release. Straighten out through the legs. Separate your feet hip distance apart. Slide your palms underneath the feet. Touch with your toes your wrist crease. Inhale, lift up the chest. Exhale, melt and fold. Lengthen to the back of the neck. Lift the shoulder blades away from the ears. Using the strong biceps to pull in the chest closer to the thighs. Release. Release the hands from underneath the feet. Bring the big toes to touch. Then come on back into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Oh yeah, be back. Now bring the right arm underneath the left arm. Come into eagle pose. You can grab on opposite shoulders. You can find your bind. Sit down deep. Lift up the right leg and wrap it around the left. You can use your right toes as kickstand, or you can wrap it all around the body and find a full bind. Tuck the tailbone under, lean more back, squeezing the shoulder, squeezing the elbows, squeezing the inner thighs together. See if you can create a long line from the fingers all the way to the toes. Squeezing those inner thighs. Good, now slowly, you're gonna start to round down. Bring the elbow to your knees. Round through the upper spine. Keep the core engaged. Now listen up. You're going to keep the bind. You're going to lift up the chest. So you're going to flatten out through the spine. You're going to unhook your right leg. You're going to stretch the right leg back for an eagle arm airplane. Point the right toes down, level out through the hips. Reach the fingers more forward. Reach the right heel back. 3 more breaths. And release the hands down to the mat. Lift the right leg high to the sky. Standing split. Good, then bring the right knee behind the left knee. Bend both knees. You can keep the fingertips down to the mat, or you can lift up the chest and bring the hands to your heart center and balance. Hands down to the mat. One more time, standing split. Then bring the right leg next to the left. Forward fold. Good, come on back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Lift up the arms. Then wrap the left arm underneath the right. Come into the eagle on the left side. Shift the body weight to the right leg. Lift up the left leg. And cross it all around it. Kickstand, maybe a full bind. Whatever you have. Point the left toes down to the mat. Squeeze the inner thighs. Squeeze the forearms together. And soften the shoulders away from the ears. Lean back 2 more inches, pulling the belly in. Now sit down 2 more inches, squeezing the inner thighs. Squeezing the outer hips, keeping the lower belly engaged. Nice job. Slowly, you're going to start to round down. Bring the elbows all the way to your knees. Maybe they're going to touch, maybe they won't. It doesn't really matter. Just focus on your breath. Now slowly start to lift the chest up and away, but keep the spine long. Unhook the left leg. Stay low in your upper body as you stretch the left leg back behind you. Flex the back foot. Reach with the fingertips forward. Eagle arm airplane. Keep the back long. Lower belly strong. Lower belly is engaged. Good job. Slowly release the hands down to the mat. Come on into a standing split. Lift the left leg high to the sky. Maybe wrap the right forearm behind the right calf as you lift the left leg up. Good, then bring the left knee behind the right knee. Squeeze them together. Squeezing the left knee into the back of the right knee. Fingertips down to the mat. Try to shift the body weight back to the right heel. And maybe pick up the palms, bring them to your heart center. Release the hands down to the mat. Lift the left leg high to the sky once again. Standing split. Then release the left leg next to the right. Forward fold. Toe heel your feet all the way mat distance apart. Squat down Malasana. Hands at your heart center. Push the elbows to the inner knees, opening through the hips. Focusing on your slow, beautiful breath in and out through the nose.
Good. Now stay here, or you can go into a little arm balance. Hands down to the mat. Then you're going to go into crow pose. We've been practicing flying frog. So if you want to practice that little flying frog, placing the inner knees onto the triceps, that's great. If you want to move forward, come into your crow pose practice. Palms are shoulder distance apart. Lift the hips high. Bend your knees and drop the knees onto your triceps. Now don't let the elbows to go out to the side. So don't let that happen. Point the triceps, the elbows back. Lean forward, start to bend the elbows. And maybe, I'm going to show it from the side. And maybe you're going to be able to lift up one foot and switch it out, the other foot. Or maybe both feet flies away from the mat, floats away from the mat. Round through the spine, bring the big toes to touch. And from here you can practice. I don't know how much room do I have behind me. Let's hope I have enough. Jump back. Woo, I did. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And back. Downward facing dog. Hips come high to the sky. Alright friends, come on down onto your knees. You can always practice a little more crow pose afterwards. I have a really good tutorial on YouTube at Aura 7 Yoga if you want to check that out. There is a free yoga tutorial about how to get into your crow pose. Lay down onto your back. Cross the right knee on top of the left. Come into an eagle leg. Then wrap the right arm underneath the left. Come into an eagle. Full on. Now you can grab onto opposite shoulder and you can just cross the knees. That's fine too. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Come on, 8. Exhale and inhale. Tune in with the breath. Slow it down. Good job. Nice and slow. Full inhales and full exhales. Good. 5. Keep going. 4. 3. Keep crunching in. Let's go. 2. And hold it up on 1. Steady hold. Lift up the shoulder blades. Start to lift up the tailbone away from the mat. Hold it here. Crunch everything together. Come on. Turn on all the muscles in your core. Let's hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Good job. We're going to go right away to the other side. Left leg over the right. Left elbow under the right. Grab an opposite shoulder. Coming for your full bind. Exhale everything up. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Now you're going to slow down. Exhale, lift everything up. Even the tailbone, shoulder blades. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Good. You have 6 more. Nice and slow. All the way. 5. Good. Keep going. Feel that core. 3. Good. Come on. 2. We have 1 more to go. We're going to hold it up. Crunch everything together. Lift up the tailbone. Lift up the shoulder blades. Bring everything as close as you can. And hold there for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Hug the knees onto your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Give yourself a hug. Then release the soles of the feet down onto the mat. Hip distance apart. Make your feet perfectly parallel. Bring the arms by your side. Make the elbows straight. And then lift the hips up and away from the mat. Press the outer arm bones down to the mat or shimmy the shoulder blades together. Press into your palms, lift the hips higher, tug the tailbone under. Hold it here, 3 breaths. Maybe start to interlock the hands underneath the body. Press into the pinky edge of the palm. As you keep the knees pointing straight towards the back of the room, your knees are not caving out to the side. They stay hip distance apart the whole time, using the outer hip muscles to squeeze them in. Then slowly release it down. We have 2 more rounds. You can repeat a simple bridge pose, or you can go into Urdhva Dhanurasana by placing the hands next to your ear, flipping the palms around. Press into the hands and come first to the crown of the head. Adjust the shoulders. Bring the elbows all the way shoulder distance apart, and maybe coming all the way up, straighten out through the elbows, and hold it there. Engage your glutes. Imagine you have a block in between the inner thighs. Your knees are not caving out to the side. And slowly release it down. Good. We have 1 more round. Try not to stay here too long. You're never going to go back. Hands down by your side. First you can come to the crown of the head. Then you can straighten the arms and go into your bridge pose. Imagine there is that block in between the inner thighs. Your elbows are straight. Maybe walk the feet a little closer. Keeping the knees hip distance apart. 3 more breaths.
So good. Slowly release it down. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees to fall out to the side. Baddha Konasana. Take a couple breaths here. Good. Then bring the knees together. Rock and roll back and forth onto the mat. Alright, we have a couple more things to open up our backs. First, come down onto your knees. Bring your knees hip distance apart. Rise up. Tuck your toes under. We're going to go into camel pose, Ustrasana. So, if you know your camel pose is nice and deep, you can keep the feet flat onto the mat. If you need a little support, you're tucking the toes under. Good. Place your hands onto your hips. Point your fingers down. Then push the hips forward as you squeeze the shoulder blades. Good. You can stay here. Or if you feel like, alright, I got this, I can go nice and deep without dumping into my lower back, without feeling any pain. Then you reach the right fingertips back and maybe the left fingertips back. When you find a connection, drop the head back a little bit more, open through the throat chakra, then lift up your heart and push the hips forward. Supporting your lower back, placing one hand at a time on your lower back and rise all the way back. Good. And come on down into fetal position, bringing the knees together, dropping the chest down onto the thighs, arms by your side. Inhale, lift up the chest. Now we're going to grab onto our heels, tucking the chin towards the chest. And then slowly you're going to round down like a roly-poly, comes all the way down, placing the forehead onto the knees, pressing the forehead to the knees. Start to lift up your hips, grabbing onto those heels. Now try not to look left or right, hugging onto those heels. Try not to place too much weight onto the crown of the head and see if you can lift the tailbone even higher. Good, slowly release it down. Sit down onto your mat. Stretch the right leg out into 45. Bring the sole of the left foot into the right inner thigh. Flex the right foot. Inhale, lift up the arm. Turn over your right leg. And melt your upper body over your right leg. Dandana Maya Janu Shirshasana, forehead to knee posture. So bend your right knee as much as you need it to create that connection in between forehead and knee. Then use the forehead to press the knee further down to the mat. Allow the left knee to fall out to the side. Feel that breath in and out through the nose. Good, lift up your chest halfway and then turn to the side. Lift the left fingertips to the sky. So your right elbow can be on the right shin or next to it, whatever is comfortable. Open it up through the left side body. And come back to center. Stretch the left leg out to the side. Bring the sole of the right foot into the left inner thigh. Inhale, lift up the arms. Use your torso to turn over the left leg and fold forward into your Dandana Maya Janu Shirshasana on the left side. Bend the left knee as much as you need it to create a connection in between forehead and knee. Then use the forehead to gently press the back of the left knee down to the mat as you keep flexing the left foot to the face. Softening the right knee away from the body, softening the right shoulder down to the mat. The next inhale, come on just halfway and turn to the side, left elbow into the left shin, reach the right arm up and over. Nice job. And come back to center, stretch both legs in front of you, sitting in Dandasana. Grab the flash from underneath you. Inhale, lift up the arms, reach to the ceiling. And as you exhale, melt and fold all the way forward. Bring the forehead towards the shins. Now shimmy the hips further back. Find more length to the lower spine. Maybe lift up the chest one more time. Reach your chest forward. Then exhale, melt. Bring the forehead all the way down to the shins. Allow the gravitation to pull you down towards the mat. Softening the entire body down to the earth, feeling that opening. Good job. Slowly and gently rise back up. Bend your knees, soles of the feet down onto the mat. Gently, one vertebrae at a time, roll back down onto your mat. Hug the right knee into your right shoulder socket. Then twist and turn. Find your last little supine twist here. Come back to center, hug both knees onto your chest. Switch to the other side, left knee comes in, right leg is long. Exhale, turn and twist. Rinsing out the body. Opening up through the spine. Opening up through the heart, through the chest. And come back to center, hug both knees onto your chest. If there's any other posture, maybe a happy baby, maybe a little plow pose you're craving here, please feel free to go in there. But if you're ready, we're gonna drop down into Shavasana just to be there for a couple minutes together, maybe just not even, just a minute together here and down in Shavasana. Shimmy the shoulder